Alaric strikes the killing blow, shattering Seraphine's immortal form. Her body crumbles to dust, and the pact with the unburied one is severed. The shattering. The moonlight through the broken windows fell like scattered diamonds across the stone, and Alaric felt each beam across his skin, cold, distant, nothing like the warmth he'd once known. Seraphine's form wavered before him, no longer the terrible thing of shadow and certainty. The naming ritual had stripped her down to something almost mortal, almost. "It ends here, Seraphine." His voice carried the weight of centuries. "Your reign of terror is over." He raised the blade. Starlight caught its edge, the fleeting reflection making it appear more like a gesture of kindness than an instrument of harm. Seraphine's laugh came thin and brittle. "You cannot defeat me, Alaric. I am eternal." She reached for him, that decaying hand, fingers like branches stripped of bark, grasping at the air between them. Her eyes held something he'd tried not to look at for decades, the memory of warmth that had never truly existed, of a woman who'd learned to wear beauty the way others wore masks. He didn't step back. That was his cruelty and his kindness both. "Our love was never meant to be," Alaric said quietly. "You were never truly alive." The words landed like a final bell. Seraphine's mouth opened, but no sound came. Her hand fell away from the space where his heart beat, slowly, so slowly, like a thing winding down. Alaric turned from her. His shoulders shook once, twice. He didn't wipe his eyes. There was no point. Tears didn't fall on faces like his anymore. When he moved with the certainty of something that had already died long ago. The blade sang as it descended, not a cry of rage, but of completion, the kind of sound a door makes when it closes for the last time. Seraphine's form didn't scream, it simply came undone. The shattering began at her edges, a fracturing like ice under spring thaw. Her skin caught the moonlight and became something else, not flesh, but crystallized shadow, immortality made visible and fragile. It came apart in fragments too small to hold meaning, scattering upward and outward like startled birds, like ash from a funeral pyre, like dust that had been waiting centuries to fall. And with her dissolution came something larger. The oppressive weight that had pressed down on Nachtmar since the pact's signing, that suffocating presence that had made the air thick and the silence unbearable, simply lifted. It didn't fade. It broke. The absence of it was so sudden that Alaric staggered, as though the ground had shifted beneath him. The dust settled like snow on the cold stone, catching the moonlight as it descended. Each mote glittered, as if touched by starlight, or as if it held the final fragments of an immortal soul finally released from its binding. The scent of grave roses lingered for a moment, then dissipated, leaving only the honest smell of old stone and time. The pact was severed. Alaric could feel it in the architecture of his being, wound through him since he'd agreed to this nightmare unspooling, unraveling, leaving him lighter and emptier in equal measure. The unburied one's claim on Nachtmar shattered with it. The souls bound to this place, trapped in its halls and its stones, felt it too. He could sense them turning toward something like hope, like the first light after an endless dark. He stood alone in the hallway, breathing dust and starlight, the blade hanging at his side. The portraits on the walls no longer watched him. Their eyes had become just paint again. Behind him, Seraphine was nothing, less than memory, the kind of ending that left no room for ghosts.